Hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm great. What about you?
I'm super. Another good day. Yes. My
I'm glad
name's
to hear that.
Yeah. Where are you from and what's your name?
I'm from Ahmed. I am Ahmed. I'm from Iraq.
Iraq. Hi. I'm Antoinette from America and I live in Vietnam currently. Yeah.
It's nice to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you. How are things there with this coronavirus business? Oh.
Everything is down if you talk about business or if you talk about economics because, everybody stayed at home these days. So we gather food to live for the next 3 or 4 days. I don't know what's the next.
Yeah, we don't know. So, it's interesting because I'm curious as to what are people doing? I mean, if this is, with all this going on, how are we spending our time being as we are indoors? Are we still trying to better ourselves or create or to help somebody else? I mean, this is all so important in times like this, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. When you stay at home, you can make some activity, but you stay at home because if you go out, you do much more activity for see your friends and have a conversation with others. And these days we can communicate only through the internet.
Yeah. Well, I think it's getting better. I mean, I think it's going to feel like it's getting worse before it gets better. But don't forget, we've had SARS and Ebola and so many other epidemics. But now with things being so advanced, they can get it under control, I think, a lot quicker and more efficiently,
Yeah.
But I think that it's a time for us to really reflect and to be grateful for the families that we have and for our good health. And that we do have this technology, because just think if we were shut out and we didn't have the technology, we didn't know what was going on, our mind can go in so many other directions,
Yes.
So I'm so grateful that I am teaching online, because originally I came to Vietnam to teach in the classroom. And I did teach in the classroom, but it was too much like work. I mean, it was just too much. And I didn't leave the work I was doing to come and do more work, or the same amount of work. So I thought, can only teach online. But in these crises, I mean, people are really scurrying, trying to get all they can online to have some money coming in.
Yeah, because I think all the schools in the Vietnam are closed
Have been closed since
since the
Chinese
outbreak
New
of
Year.
coronavirus.
Yeah, we have 91 reported cases, and the schools have been closed since January the 25th. So it's been 2 months,
Yeah, I think you teach just online these days.
Yes,
You teach online every day or
every day.
regular time?
I work every day because I don't
Yeah.
really consider this work. I mean, it is work. Of course, it's work. But I mean, it's something that I did for 6 months, trying to figure out if this was something I wanted to do. And I did it for 6 months for free in the classroom. So, I volunteered. And I was like, wow, after all these years, I did business for many years. I sold real estate for many years. But this is something I can do every day, all day, and I never
Online
tire.
is very good way to work. So how long have you been teaching online?
Just about a year. Yeah, coming up on a year.
That's
But
great.
I've been teaching for about 2-3 years now. And
Yeah.
but the thing is, this is not, to me, it's not like teaching. It is dialoguing with different cultural people from around the world, like yourself, looking into your culture and sharing mine. And I think this is the best way
to learn English. Yes.
To learn English and to learn about each other. I mean,
of course, I think your work is like the first thing, making a good living for you, and another reason, maybe you have fun sometimes, and know some knowledge about the student when he talk about their culture.
Yes. And it's so rewarding, because I feel sometimes that I'm learning more than the student, because I love talking to people, but in uncertain times, and everybody wants to go to war and all this old crazy stuff. But if we have dialogue, if we sit down and look in each other's face and talk to each other, we have more things in common than we don't. And, the few things that we don't have in common, we can respect. And that's a wonderful thing.
Exactly. Before Cambly, I wasn't talking to any foreign people, but in Cambly, I spoke to many people from different countries. Also I learned some culture from my tutors.
Yes. And it's a wonderful thing. And
I agree with you.
Even though we learn through dialogue and culture and art, that even though we're different, it doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. It is just that it's different, like my students in Saudi Arabia, the women are starting to drive. They're so excited. I'm excited for them, where
yes, exactly. I know that.
And I'm a true feminist. I mean, I think a woman can do anything a man can do, because most people think I'm crazy that I left America to move to Vietnam on my own. I'd never been here before. I didn't have a job, But the thing is, like my father used to say, you come in the world by yourself, you're going to go out by yourself. So it doesn't matter. You can't let circumstances.
That's a good advice from your father.
From my dad. So
so you live by yourself in Vietnam, and
that's it. But the thing is, when I first heard this, I was like, oh wow, they don't drive. But again, it's not America. Everybody is doing something different. But the women are quite content with their lives, most of them. They're very educated. I mean, what's important to them is a little different than what's important to us in America, but not very. They want to be married. They want families, most women. And some women don't. Some women want to be independent. They want to be lecturers,
Yeah, when you met different people, you know different culture and different tradition. So tradition. So how did you find the Saudi Arabia tradition women? Unlike you. So what's the difference?
Right. Well, again, because I live in America and so many different cultures and religions exist in our country, I've had a front row seat at a lot of cultural differences.
Yeah.
But when you actually speak to someone that lives in a country, like the first and only Muslim country I've been to was Morocco. So it is very different. The men are hanging out all day, every day, and you never see the women, except for when they go to the market and it's during the day and they're covered. The thing is, I think that, like my father again would say, what you eat don't make me fat, meaning just because, these women in these countries, this is their tradition. This is what they know. It is very different from what I know, but this is what they know. So it's nothing wrong with it. Now, I had one student, a guy who lived in California in America for many years.
Yeah.
and he had to go back to Saudi Arabia. And I think at this time he was an Uber driver or something, I forget. But he was so torn because he hated it. He did not want to go there because he lived in a country where he felt very free. You know, he didn't feel.
Yeah, no, because they face a lot of different tradition from the country who live there. You mean your student moved to another country?
Yeah, he lived in America. He lived in America for many years. He kind of grew up there, and then he had to go back home and take care of his parents, which we all have to do, whether they're in another state or what, you know. And so his conscience, he consciously cannot live in another country while his parents are.
Can you write it down? Consciously?
Consciously, okay.
Yeah, and what does that mean, consciously?
Okay, I'm gonna write it in English and in Arabic for you.
Yeah.
Consciously.
I think something it's like with the continuously.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Consciously, like
consciously, meaning not knowing something, you know. And
I got you. Yes.
Okay, here I'm going to still write it for you and see.
No, I got you. Don't write in Arabic.
Okay.
So.
Oh well, too late. But yeah. So the light is changing. I'm sorry. I'm sitting in the living room and the light is very different now.
It's okay. You are not completely dark. I can see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
light up.
Well, you know, different times of the day I teach. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what the time over there in Vietnam?
Oh, the time now is 4:40 p.m. So it's almost 5 o'clock p.m. Yeah, and it's Sunday, so it's a slower day for me. But how long have you been on Cambly?
Around I think almost 8 months.
Oh, that's awesome! So you're really committed, and I can hear it. You're very fluent, and you know, I tell my students, you know, 15 minutes a day is more than enough to talk to somebody every day.
Yeah,
you know,
I talk every day in English on Cambly and other platforms. I think with my friends who is not a native speaker but want to learn English and practice English with me every day. They talk with me in English.
That's wonderful. And there are called language exchange groups where it's free.
Yeah.
You will speak Arabic, help them with their Arabic, they'll help you with your English, or just somebody to talk to.
Exactly. That's what I saw in many apps like Hello Talk. They exchange the language.
Hello Talk. Okay, good. Well, this is awesome. Well, I got to tell you, Ahmet, it's been so nice chatting with you, and I hope that I get to hear from you again. Now, do you have children and a family? Are you married with children?
Yeah, of course. I'm married and I have 3 kids.
He says, of course. Okay, see, you can't say of course. I don't know. I think it's awesome. Are the children learning English, or are they too little right now? How old?
They're still kids, but I teach them some easy word like the food or scarf or anything about the easy
Well,
English.
you know, YouTube is a wonderful thing. They have little songs and stuff. But we are running out of time, and I do hope you and your family stay well, and hope to see you again soon.
Thank you for your time.
It's been my pleasure. Take good care and enjoy the rest of the day.
Goodbye.
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 Goodbye. Okay. God, he's gorgeous.